So good evening, everyone, and a very hearty welcome to each one of you to this talk 3 on the Shiva Sutras. And we are still dealing with the first sutra, Chaitanyam Atma. So just feel these words resonating within yourself. Chaitanyam Atma. This Chaitanya, the supremely free energy of consciousness or God consciousness, is the reason why this form is in existence at this moment. Just by paying attention to the breath, we can figure out how this Chaitanya, which is our own true nature, is powering the breath, which happens continually, keeping us alive and filling us with prana. We can live without food and water, but we cannot live without breath. So feel this consciousness manifesting as breath, the spontaneous movement of the breath right now. And one of the names by which we know this Chaitanya is Guru. The Guru is that power which is behind all the 5 functions in existence. Creation, maintenance and dissolution. And concealment. And lastly, the grace. This power, Chaitanya, is responsible for creation, it is responsible for maintenance, it is responsible for dissolution. And it is so intricately intertwined with our own existence that one of its functions is concealment. It has become each one of us, and yet we see ourselves as separate forms, separate entities, separate personalities, and we don't see the common substratum, Chaitanya. And this common substratum can be revealed through the fifth function, which is grace. And for grace, we must be in the presence of a master, or we must connect with a master. Because very complex knowledge cannot be revealed just like that. All of us have been students and we know that it is difficult to get knowledge from the books. But in our colleges, when we came across teachers who were living that knowledge, who were breathing that knowledge, just being in their presence was good enough, and they were able to explain everything so lucidly. And learning became such fun, it became so easy. So is the Guru. The Guru is one with Chaitanya, and in his field, and in his presence, we can get a glimpse of Chaitanya. So let us pray to the Master. We will chant Om 3 times and then do the Guru Vandana. So we will chant Om on the out breath. Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam yena characharam Tatpadam darshitam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Deva Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Shri Sadgurave Namaha. Just remain with your heart and see what kind of energy and presence you feel there. Chaitanyam Atma. Those who are familiar with science, they would know that energy is of two types. Energy in motion, that is kinetic energy, and energy which is in stillness, but which has the potential to get a lot of things done. We call it potential energy. So if there is a reservoir of water at a great height, and this water is being kept there or it is being held in check, it has tremendous amount of potential. And if this water is released and its flow is controlled, it can generate a lot of energy. It can generate a lot of electricity. So when we speak of Chaitanya, we must become aware of this great potential energy which is there within each one of us. It is effervescent, it is full of light, and it has all potentiality. And as and when it chooses, it manifests as our thoughts, as the functions of our senses, as our intent, our knowledge, our ability to conceive things and put them in action. Just because we are focused on the outside, we do not travel to the source of everything, and we remain unaware of this great potentiality, this Chaitanya. The first sutra of the Shiva Sutra says, Chaitanyam Atma. Your essential nature, your true svabhav is of Chaitanya, the supremely free divine energy of God, which holds all potentialities and which is responsible for everything. So take a moment to just find refuge in these words of the sutra, Chaitanyam Atma. Chaitanyam Atma. Chaitanyam Atma. Chaitanyam Atma. And this is the beauty of the sutra, that just feeling the energy of the words can put you in a state which is beyond words, beyond thought. And yet you are not sleeping, you are aware and awake. Every cell of the body begins to vibrate with higher awareness, higher energy, higher frequency. Chaitanyam Atma. Gradually start bringing your awareness on the outside. Become aware of the contact between your sit bones and the chair or the bed, wherever you are. See where your hands are placed, how your feet are resting. And let your awareness turn outwards. And now just give yourself a statement to ponder. Ask yourself, who am I? And whatever is the most favorite answer or whatever comes up for you in this moment, give yourself that. I am old. Many of us here are senior citizens. I am well, I am unwell. I am a father or mother or a grandfather or a grandmother. I am a professional. I am working and I am without work. Anything, whatever comes up for you, hold that thought and see whatever you are holding right now. It is just an identity. And with each identity, there are certain associated thoughts. Like if somebody feels I am unwell, then there will be thoughts regarding medicines, precautions, money to be spent. Somebody says I am a professional, and immediately there will be thoughts relating to pending work that is to be done, services which are to be rendered, fees that have to be collected. So whatever thought you have, as long as you are identifying with an identity on the outside, it will bring up many, many statements. And this is sansar. When you are attaching yourself to the boat of your thoughts or your identities, you have given away your sovereignty immediately. And the identities will change. Maybe you were working some 10 years ago, and when somebody asked you, you said, "Oh, I'm in this particular job," because that was your predominant identity. And now somebody is sitting at home, not doing anything. And this thought of explaining to somebody or giving his earlier identity would not arise. But when that identity was there, it was very predominant. So this is sansar, identifying with our roles and duties in the outer world. And as long as we are doing this, there is always going to be a sense of lack, an absence of completeness. And now just drop the identity. Instead of saying, "I am old, I am my body, I am sick, I am well," whatever, just repeat to yourself, "I am, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am." And just rest in this awareness of I am for a while. Each time you breathe in, say to yourself, "I am." And each time you breathe out, say to yourself, "I am." Again, gently bring your awareness back to the body. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes. But keep the inner state as it was. And just compare the two states. The state when you identified with the role, and when you dropped the role and just said, "I am." Naturally, the state of I am was more profound, there was more freedom, and the entanglement on the outside which used to be there when you identify with the role in the outer world, that entanglement was not there. And this is what happens when we take refuge within. And that is why the Shiva Sutras say, Chaitanyam Atma. Your true nature is of Chaitanya, supremely free divine energy of God. It is very easy if we get it, and not so easy if we are trapped in our outer identities. So there are people who are great intellectuals. They will argue, they will debate. A debate works very well. There are so many examples by which it can be proved that there is an Atma and it doesn't die. It is eternal, it's effulgent, pulsating, vibrant. Now somebody may understand it intellectually, but intellectual understanding is just a comforting exercise. A person becomes very happy to know that yes, I am eternal, there is something inside me that is not going to die. But this intellectual understanding is also a bondage, because it is not backed by experience. And that is why the Shiva Sutras say, Chaitanyam Atma. So know it for sure that your nature is the supremely free divine energy of God. And unless you know this, you will not experience freedom. So one who understands things intellectually, he is still in the world, because he has attached the comfort or feeling of comfort in his life to a concept. And Chaitanya Atma is like walking on fire. You just take it and know it that there is no other way except taking refuge within and knowing this pulsating energy which is at the core of one's existence. Because if it is not done, then we will be living under some concept, and concepts do not guarantee freedom. We talk of Swatantra Shakti, the supremely free nature of this divine energy. And the same energy is within us, but we don't experience that freedom. So therefore it is very important to rise above the intellectual concept. And how are we going to know this? So we must be ready to lay down everything to experience this freedom. Otherwise, all the things that we do, they can become bondage. They may be good things. We may be better than others, but being free will not be possible. There a person who was a well-known sannyasi. After a few years of marriage, he had left his wife to embrace sannyas. And then 30 years, 40 years passed. One day the news came that the wife has passed away. And he said, good riddance. Now his disciples sang paeans for him. They said, oh my God, what a great master we have. He is so much steeped into renunciation. But the news reached another master and he smiled. And he said, well, my friend, he gave up on his wife, but actually he did not give up. For these 30-40 years he was still carrying her. And now he is saying good riddance. So that freedom has to be tasted and experienced, and it has to be lived. Only then something will be possible. And we can safely proceed on the path. And this is how we do these things. In just one of these sessions, somebody told me that, look, I keep doing a lot of things, but I sometimes feel I am not progressing enough. And then I go into the blame game and I blame myself. I admonish myself. So what is it? When that Supreme Chaitanya has chosen to live inside us as us, how do we get that right to consider ourselves to be small, to consider ourselves to be worthy of admonishment? This itself is bondage. So that is why the Shiva Sutras say, Chaitanyam Atma. Know this for sure, that you are the supremely free divine energy of God. And if you are ready to just go within and explore this, then the qualities of this energy, the great merit, that will start shining through you. And it will manifest in your thoughts, in your words, in your actions. We often hear people saying, I was very happy until I got married. Now what happens? Even when this fellow was not married, he still had no idea of what happiness is. But it is customary that we attach our expectation to something that is not there. So we say, I was very happy until I got married. The Shiva Sutras say Chaitanyam Atma. So you don't have to run away from anything and you don't have to chase anything. It's here and now. You are that divine energy which is supremely free. know that and experience your freedom. But because we are caught up in our own concepts, we are always doing things which will take us away from Chaitanya. If we examine every day how our life proceeds, we will come to know how many things we are doing every day which are taking us away from our own true nature. So much of socializing, so much of the social media, gossiping, all kinds of things. So that is something which we need to examine, how we can reduce those things which are taking us away from Chaitanya, our experience of our own true nature. And if we begin to do that, that is when spiritual life starts. So there has to be a firm conviction to understand that I am no other than Chaitanya, and I must find that oneness with it. And in this path, I don't have the right to judge myself. I do not have to bind myself with my own concepts of achievement or failure. So I should not become full of pride if I feel that I am getting nearer. And I should not think small of myself. I should not castigate myself or criticize myself if I realize that I missed this time. So this is the important part. Otherwise, what happens that when we get into this mode of self-incrimination, judgment, then we are doing great harm. And these are the things that we do, and we keep ourselves away from the experiencing this divine energy. And I said earlier that Atma or Chaitanya, these are not principles that you can read and understand and imbibe. It is life itself. And that is why, one of the great sages, Saint Francis, said, the one whom you seek is the one who is seeking. So this thought, if it comes or it germinates in your mind that I must know the Chaitanya. So it is planted by the Chaitanya itself. And Chaitanya is seeking itself through you, through your mind, through your logic, through your understanding. And if you don't seek it, you look at people who are still trapped in the world. So we must understand that it is the play of Chaitanya, that Chaitanya is giving them the opportunity to realize that whatever they are seeking, they are only adding to their incompleteness. One is full and complete from inside, and yet he is looking for things on the outside because he thinks that completeness will happen if he adds something else from the outside. So there are people who are looking for adding knowledge, people who are looking for adding wealth, people who are looking for adding influence, all kinds of things. People trapped in, having this thought that, well, my children are going to do well and they will take care of me. But every soul is independent, every soul has its own choices. So whatever we ask for, that may happen or may not happen. And if it does not happen according to what we want, then we are going to be miserable. But if we take refuge in this sutra, Chaitanyam Atma, then the bliss is ours, and that bliss is without reason. It is not dependent upon what happens or what does not happen. And even if there is a setback, we won't deviate, we don't lose our balance. We come back to the center quickly. So it is about realizing Chaitanya. My nature is Chaitanya. And one of the simplest ways to do this is to follow the path of awareness. And what is awareness? So every thought comes up from this vast ocean of consciousness, this Chaitanya. But every thought has a form. Every thought is awareness flowing outside. But what we can do as sentient beings is to follow that thought and trace it backwards. See where it is coming from. If you are sitting by the sea or the ocean and there are waves rising up, so you see each wave comes up and then it subsides. So as long as the wave is there, it has a form, it has an attribute, but it comes from the ocean where it had no form previously, no attribute, it just came up and after a while it subsides back into the ocean and again it has lost its form and attribute. So in the same way, in this vast ocean of consciousness, thoughts are arising. Habit patterns are arising. Our behavioral patterns are arising. And we see them and trace the journey back to the ocean of consciousness. And those thoughts and those patterns will dissolve. And we will become established in our own true nature, where there is supreme freedom. So just close your eyes, take a comfortable posture. Just for a few breaths, just watch your breath. And now bring your attention to whatever is there in the mind. Read your thoughts. So any thought may come up. Watch the trajectory of the thought as it rises and subsides. The funny part is that if you start watching the thoughts, only very few thoughts remain. And pick out some of them or one of them and watch. And trace the thought back to where it has come from. And you notice that the thought disappears. When the thought has disappeared, what remains? Chaitanya. The supremely free consciousness. So rest in that experience until another thought arises. And if and when such a thought arises, watch it. See what is the intent. See what kind of behavioral pattern is propelling this thought. And trace it back. So if a memory arises and you trace the memory back, suddenly the memory dissolves. It may be a happy memory, it may be a sad memory. It may trigger anger inside you. But as this memory subsides back into consciousness, this pattern of sadness or resentment or anger, that pattern is also subsiding. So it is not that you are gaining some momentary peace and quiet. You are purifying yourself from within. And the moment you identify with Chaitanya, you are out of the control of your karma. You are free. And feel this freedom. Now when thoughts arise, give them the medicine of Chaitanyam Atma. Even this thought is a form arising from that supremely free consciousness. And it has no capacity to entangle you. Mentally connect with your body. The body is a form. But it is alive. It is pulsating. Give it the medicine Chaitanyam Atma. The body may have a form or attribute, but it is nothing but a manifestation of the supremely free divine energy of God. Bring all your family members, your loved ones, and with the out-breath say to them Chaitanyam Atma. With the in-breath say to yourself Chaitanyam Atma. Everything, every relationship, even the chair or the bed in which you are sitting or lying down is Chaitanyam Atma. Its frequencies may be low so that it seems inanimate. Yet the Shiva Sutras say this is pulsating with divine energy. And when you begin to see it this way, your chair is not a chair. It is an extension of yourself. Your clothes are not your clothes. They are your extension. That same energy which has made you what you are, it has become your clothes or your chair or your bed, your environment. If you are a plant lover, imagine the plant that you love most. Just caress its leaves or flowers and say, Chaitanyam Atma. If you go to a holy place where a great saint has meditated, maybe hundreds of years ago under a tree, just sit under that tree and you can experience the energy of the saint. Why? Because Chaitanyam Atma, the divine energy of the saint, has permeated the tree, and hundreds of years later, when seekers come and sit there, that tree is showering grace. Chaitanyam Atma. Don't try to hold anything. Let your mind take you from place to place, from person to person. But transpose in everything and everyone the awareness of this sutra, Chaitanyam Atma. There is nothing to hold on to. There is nothing to let go. You are Chaitanyam Atma, the way you are. Very, very gently start becoming aware of your breathing. Take a few deep breaths consciously and let them out. You can bring your palms together, just rub them against one another. Cover your eyes with the palms and let there be an exchange of energy between your palms and the rest of your body. Keep breathing, and when you are ready, just caress your face. And when you feel like, you can gently open your eyes. So this brings us to the end of the session. Anyone wants to share anything, you can just unmute yourself. Or if you feel very much drawn inside, just remain in that state. We will end with Shanti Path. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhino Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukhabhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May there be peace and auspiciousness everywhere. May everyone be happy, healthy. Thank you, everyone. And see you again next week.